In this video, I'm going to be showing my storage setup in Pokopia, how I organize my materials that I collect, and how I easily access them. My biggest tip for storage in this game would be to just have one area where you keep the bulk of your storage. This is my home in the Withered Wasteland, and this is where I keep all of my materials. Make sure you put in a mirror into the house you're spawning into as well, so that you have a one-stop shop to change your appearance. I've just got a small little house on top of these rocks that I've decorated, and then right beneath it, this is my storage facility that I've built into the rocks and underground so that it doesn't take up space. I've also got a small farm next to my storage facility, so I can easily access materials this way as well. I plan to have one of each type of berry tree here, but I don't have that just yet. And then I've got some water channels for irrigation. So now we're going into my facility. This took a very long time to make, but that's because I wanted to use these glowing rocks, and I had to use the Dragonite plush to go to the island several times to collect them. But you can make the storage facility out of any material. I just wanted mine to have this particular aesthetic. I would suggest having a kitchen in your storage facility as well, so you also have one spot to go to craft any kind of food that you want. A huge tip is if you're building down or underground, to put 3 boxes under your stairs like this, so that they don't take up any space and they're not visible and they're very easily accessible. I like to keep all of my food items near my kitchen so that if I need anything, I can just turn around and they're right there. I don't even have to walk to the other side of my facility. I also got a berry jar so that I can separate different types of food into different storage items so that I'm not sifting through one box. All the food that I've already crafted, I put in the fridge so that if I need something very quickly, I don't have to craft it, I can just look in the fridge and see what's already there. I've got a workbench next to all of my materials so that I can easily craft things. I would set up an area for all the types of plushes so that you can easily access them. Another good tip for this is to clearly label all of your storage boxes using frames. You can craft frames with lumber and then place them on the sides of storage boxes, and then put anything you want inside of the frame. Obviously use whatever labels works for you. As you use your facility more, you'll recognize exactly where things are and you'll know exactly where to go. But also don't be afraid to take things out of frames and switch up how many boxes you're using and how many subcategories you're dividing your items into. You may find that you're not using enough categories and you can't find a specific item. You may need to make a box just for that item, especially if you use it a lot. I would recommend putting a vending machine in your facility as well, so that every day you can get a new liquid from it and put it in your fridge. I used the wireless transmitters to power up this whole facility so that I wouldn't have to use any power lines. I want to make multiple levels, so I want this to be just purely storage and aesthetically pleasing, but I also want this spawn point, like my house on top of this, to be just a one-point location to do anything that I need to do in the game, to build whatever I want. So I'm going to be expanding downward. So if we go down here, it's not finished, but I've built water so that I can have my concrete mixer. I just put a shower and a bath for aesthetic reasons. And I've also got a furnace. The house I've built on top of my facility, I haven't put any Pokemon living in it yet, but I think I will put a Pokemon that can turn on the furnace in it. So if I'm traveling back to this home to use the furnace, I can just hope that that Pokemon's in my house already so I can get them to follow me and come down here and use it immediately. I've already got enough space for everything that I needed to organize already. I've still got lots of empty boxes, so at the moment I'm not worried about overflow, but that's why I put the small boxes on the end in case overflow does happen. I will say, if you're planning to make your facility underground, make sure you have plenty of light sources in here. You don't want to not be able to see what your chests are labeled as. Making these big storage chests requires a lot of Pokemetal, and the easiest way to farm this material is using the Dragonite plush. It'll take you to an island that has Pokemetal ore, and you can just farm that over and over and over and put it in your furnaces to turn it into Pokemetal. You don't have to build your storage facility underground, but building underground gives you more opportunity to expand downward. I didn't want my facility to just be something you come to for storage. I wanted it to be a bit cozy as well. I would also recommend building this habitat for Gulpin, as Gulpin allows you to store any items you want. Having Gulpin in your storage facility adds a lot of extra storage, and if there's something that I don't want to organize yet, I will just give it to him in the meantime. But like I said earlier, the most convenient thing for me about this facility is that my spawn point for this location is right on top of it. There's almost no travel involved from fast traveling here to getting to my items. And having a very small farm next to it as well, if I'm missing any kind of food or fruit item that I need, it's very likely just going to be right outside. I also think I'm going to... It already is the case that most of my Pokemon's habitats are right outside of my facility, but I'm going to bring them a bit closer and make them a bit denser so that if there's a Pokemon with an ability I need, they're very likely going to be right outside. One of the biggest sticking points for me for building a massive facility with lots of space for storage and crafting items was that I didn't want to ruin the aesthetic that I wanted for the island itself, and I didn't want to infringe on my Pokemon's habitats. Essentially, I wanted to maximize the building space on my island while still giving myself lots and lots of space for storage. And that's really the reason why I built it underground.